Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the first episode of Prodiva YouTube channel. I'm Bolo Atife and I'm your host for today. Prodiva is a place where we leverage on the differences in our diversity, and the true prosperity is in our diversity. I have here with me a wonderful personality who has actually leveraged on this diversity, and she has been making waves. She's a person who inspires me personally a lot, and I'm sure she inspires you too. Please make welcome Mrs. Bolatito Ajibode. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you, Uluwatife.
All right, before we go into everything today, I would like her to introduce herself. Please, Ma, would you like to tell us about how you started and how you got to where you are today? Just give us a brief about your story.
Wow. My story is a story of a small girl from a little chamber. For those who have read my book, Dolamu, the girl from the little chamber, I grew up in a place called Isaliko on Lagos Island here. And if you know Isaliko very well, it's a place where the girl child struggles to even finish secondary school. So I finished secondary school, but I failed 3 times before I could make it to university. You know, when you talk about failing forward, when you talk about perseverance, they said it was Thomas Edison that said 99% of success is perspiration. That represents me.
Wow.
When you don't give up, when you execute without excuse, when you don't take no for an answer, that is how I was able to finish my university education. Because I didn't make the grades I wanted. I didn't get the course that I wanted to study. I wanted to be an accountant, by the way. But I happened to serve in a bank. So God made a U-turn for me. I served in a bank and I stayed in the bank, 3 banks for 32 years. And I left as head of corporate bank in Nigeria, in Stanbic IBTC, before I was appointed by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the Deputy Managing Director of Lekki Free Trade Zone. So it's been a journey. And I left Lekki Free Trade Zone in July to concentrate on my business as MD of Ginger Hub Nigeria Limited. We're not done yet. Still a journey.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's so amazing. That's really amazing. All right. I have another question for you. I'm sure that being the MD of Ginger Hub, it means that you've been able to leverage on some of the prosperity we have in our diversity today, right? So, can you please give us a story of how Prodiva came to be and how you were able to leverage that using Ginger Hub?
Okay. Ginger Hub started as a family drink, and I was giving it out to my colleagues at work, and they all loved it. And today we are operating from a very big factory. To God be the glory. But if I have to link it to Prodiva, prosperity in our diversity, I would say that I have leveraged truly on the resources of Nigeria. Like many other great men in Lagos, we are in Nigeria, we are still small. I'm a Lagosian, for instance. Our ginger comes from Kachia in Kaduna. Our turmeric comes from Abuja, sometimes in Kano, sometimes even in Kaduna. Our lemon comes from Benue. Our lime comes from Ogun State. And our honey comes from Ilorin. So you can see that I'm here sitting in Lagos as a Lagosian, but leveraging on all the resources of Nigeria all over to make a product for everybody to drink. That is Prodiva. That's the prosperity in our diversity. So when we talk about Nigeria, think Prodiva, think prosperity. Don't think of our differences Somebody is from the north, somebody from the south. No. Think of what can you get out of all these regions and make it in Nigeria. That is how our own man, the richest man in Africa at some point, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, is from Kano. But he was able to solve a problem for Nigeria, the problem of cement. When Nigeria was importing bag cement, at some point bulk cement, but we have limestones all scattered all over Nigeria, in the south, in the central, and even in the upper north in Sokoto. We have limestones all over Nigeria, and we are importing cement. So what is in Prodiva's story? He built his own cement factory. And today, Nigeria has stopped importing cement. We are even exporting cement. That is in Prodiva's story, leveraging on Nigerian resources.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think if there's one thing I'm going to pick from that is that aside the fact that it was you as a person and the example you gave, which is Aligo Dangote, he was able to actually solve a part of Nigeria's problem, which is the fact that we stopped importing cement, right? But there's also one thing that your story and his story also did is that it was able to actually reduce the rate of unemployment in Nigeria, which means that you as a person, I'm sure that when you mentioned that you started in the kitchen, you might be the only employee, right? I wouldn't know. And Aligo Dangote also started from, I'm sure we didn't all know him to be Aligo Dangote then, right? He started small too. So which means that there was a time where you were little, where you started little, and then you had yourself to when you now have maybe hundreds of tens of employees. So I'm sure that our stories, your story has actually helped in reducing the unemployment rate in Nigeria, which is very important. So what would be your story to employers out there, or what would be your story to people who actually have ideas also, who actually have what they want to build, right?
You are actually spot on. When I started Ginger Up, it was me and my cook in the kitchen preparing the drink. But when we started growing and demand was growing, it was my side hustle. I was a banker. I was still doing my banking job. I had my 9 to 5, but I was using my weekend, my holidays to prepare this ginger drink. And today, from myself and my cook, we have over 50 staff. And don't forget, I said it's my side run. So what that has done for us as a country, we have been able to take out 50 people out of the unemployment brackets, and we are feeding 200 staff. Because for every one person you employ as an employer, multiply that number by 4. Because they are dependents.
Yes.
4, maybe wife, maybe children, maybe father, maybe mother, that they also feed. So you are feeding times 4 of the amount that you have employed. And what that also suggests to us as Nigerians is that it's not just going to solve the problem of unemployment, it's also going to solve the problem of insecurity. Because the main reason why we have insecurity in Nigeria today is a high level of unemployment. So you just have to do this.
Yeah, that's very important. Thank you so much for that. My last question, I have just one question it's bugging my heart, right? And that would be, what would be your take home to Nigerian youth? What do you want them to carry on from this particular episode that we have here? What would you like to tell them about Prodiva?
Okay, but before I answer that question, let me emphasize the fact that the ginger ale business was birthed because I worked for a bank. I worked for Stanbic IBTC Bank. And the bank had a policy, we call it OBI, outside business interests. When you have a business on the side, in the bank, you are encouraged to bring the business to the bank by declaring it. Once you declare it, you bank that business in the bank. You bring all your profits, all your sales to the bank. That's why today my ginger business is we only bank with Stanbic. And it is something that I will encourage all employers to do. Stamic have been very, very supportive because of that policy. So for me, it's something that the message I would like to pass to every employer in Nigeria to encourage their workers to have side runs, and not to haunt them when they do. Because what it does is that it even actually increases the level of energy. The energy level is high when you do a side run. That's the truth. It will positively impact on the employer's business. That's the truth. It happened in my own case. That's number one take home that I would like to share. The second one for Nigerian youths. My Nigerian youth, you guys you are doing well. You are doing better than us. That's the truth. I give it to you. It's just that you need to do more. You need to be more Nigerian centric. And by not seeing the grass bring greener on the other side, there is no place that is greener than Nigeria. There's so much we can do here. So much problems we can solve. And it is those who solve problems that make money. And if Nigeria is full of problems, oh, welcome, Mr. Problem. Here I am, Mr. Opportunity. That is it. Opportunity will meet the problem and you solve it. But we have to prepare for it. I say that I like you guys. I like your generation. I mean, you are the ones teaching us to wear this ashoke
which is
now.
amazing.
Because in our generation, we have ashoke on and on and on and on. Every party just put it in the wardrobe. But you guys came up and say, why not wear it for every day? You make pants with it and all that. You make jackets with it. I love you guys, but let's do more. Let's do more. And you guys don't even do only 9 to 5. I like it because the salary is only just a slice of the pie. You can build more pie, right? Like you and I, this is not your job, your 9 to 5 now.
Yes.
Yes. So that is what I really appreciate in Nigerian youths. Seriously, you are doing better than us, but you need to do more. Do more, not just by doing content creation. Hello, not just by doing content creation. You have to get your hands dirty. You need to play in the real sector. You need to play in the real sector. Do you know that Nigerian bill for imported goods is $10 billion? Wow. That's the truth. $10 billion. The minister himself said it. That is almost the size of Ghana external reserves. $11 billion. We spend $10 billion bringing in imported foods, all those canned foods that are even injurious to our health. My guys, you can actually go into food production, food and beverages. You will make money because there's a problem you are solving. You are solving the problem of imported food. You will make money. My ginger was imported. The ginger that really got me mad was being imported from Singapore. It's in our markets. It's made in Singapore. Singapore does not have ginger. I tell you for free. I've been there. They don't have ginger. Nigeria is the second largest producer of ginger in the world, next to India, and has the best ginger in the world from Kachia. And yet we're importing ginger products. So I tell you guys, you can do so much. There's so much problems, man. Solve them and make money. Build your personal wealth by solving problems. Because if you do content creation, like you always do, you do it. No, seriously, Bolu, content creation will not solve that unemployment problem. Because it's just you and your camera or one other person. But when you employ people in the real sector, that you are making dresses, that you are making furniture, that you are making slippers, you are there, you are doing it. But you need to scale up. Yes, that's the word. You are doing it in bits and pieces, but you really need to scale up. And those who are working are the ones that can do it. Because you already have a stable job, right? You have a stable job, and because of that, you can take the risk. I paid my staff salary for 5 years. So you can actually start to employ people, support them with your salary while the business is growing, because it takes 5 years for the business to grow and start making profit. So you guys can do it, but get your hands dirty. Move to the real sector, and let's see where Nigeria will be in another 5 years. By the time Nigeria will be 70, I tell you for free, the unemployment rate will have gone down. If you guys, you Nigeria youth, can get your hands dirty by investing in the real sector. That's the message I have for you.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm sure you were able to pick one or two things from that. In fact, you should pick all she said. All right, Mrs. Bolatito, before we go, let's just play a little game. Not exactly a game, though, but then I want you to flash back and then just give us one Nigerian song that has actually promoted our diversity, something that speaks to everything that you just said. Do you have that kind of song in mind?
It's a Yoruba song, if you don't mind.
We don't mind.
I can't think of any English one. Let me sing that Yoruba one that says, Nigeria yìí ti gbogbo wa ni. You know it.
I know it.
Ó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́, torí kò síbòmíràn tí a lè lọ. Àjò lè dàbí ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Gbé kémi gbé. That was amazing. That song is a message to everybody, right? Let us come together and make sure that you build something. All right, it's been so good to have you in our midst today. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. We meet again during the next episode. So please stay tuned and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will see you next time. Bye.
Torí kò sí òmíràn tí a lè lọ, àjò lè dàbí ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Gbé kémi gbé. Ó yẹ ká jọ ṣàṣàrò ló dára, ká finú inú ká.